What? I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning at Sacrifice. Woo!
Wrestling Podcast. Let's go to start with this. He is broken in half.
And you are just a buck-toothed nepo baby who ate dog food for a weird old man.
Yeah.
Just when they think they got the answers, I change the questions.
Did he do it? Cover!
Oh, and a kick out.
Unbelievable.
I will never retire.
I'm too hot to handle and too cold to hold. And I am the Macho King Randy Savage.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty.
It's me, Austin. Whoa!
Bang! Jacob 5-2 is all gas. No brakes with it. Yada made fire.
I said WWE stands for.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, yo, Pro Wrestling Podcast listeners, welcome to the show where we don't sing it, we bring it. Help us out and click subscribe to show your support. Hey, look, are you sick and tired of dropping $60 to $100 for the latest and greatest wrestling game? Stop immediately. Go to Wrestler Unstoppable, available completely free. Create a wrestler, sign contracts, get into storylines, headline PLEs, even build your own corporation from the ground up, all included in Wrestler Unstoppable, available now. Totally free at app.wrestlerunstoppable.com. If you want to become a member of the Pro Wrestling Podcast family and you want your name in the shoutouts like John and Emily, then check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/Pro Wrestling Podcast. Sign up today. Don't forget we got loyalty rewards. Any $15 a month contributor gets to co-host a show with me. $7.50 a month, you get entered into a drawing to also host a show with myself. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. If you have questions, comments, something you would like us to talk about in a future episode, the only way to get that done is to call me. Pro Wrestling Sound Off line 267-642-1160, and we will get to those questions, comments, or concerns in a future episode. Tonight, going to jump into a random news going on all over the world of professional wrestling. Got to start with the conversation about Dave Meltzer claiming that the first female superstar is joining the Vision. And here's the thing about this report, right? Even a blind man can see this coming 1,000 miles away, but Dave Meltzer chooses to make a big report about this. With Bronson Reed still on the shelf and Logan Paul now out for the next several months with a torn tricep, it turns out the division needs some new members. And according to Dave Meltzer, they're going to be getting at least one. It's going to be none other than Maxine Dupree. Like any of us didn't see that coming. I mean, let's be honest. The girl's been in the background of so many shots the last several weeks. It's obvious they've been building to something. And then this week when she's standing there next to, Alpha Academy and he walks by or whatever. Now, the only thing they could do that could make this even more spicy and more amazing is if she's been setting him up the whole time. She's been hanging with Austin Theory. At Raw, she goes away and says she has to go someplace, and then somehow gets them a tag team match, and he and Braun Breaker end up losing the tag titles to Alpha Academy, which I would absolutely love. I don't think that's what they're going to do, but that's what I would love to see happen. However, that is the report by Dave Meltzer. I can't believe he actually took radio time to discuss these things. And let's be honest, she hasn't really done much since her feud with Natalya, where she kind of lost the feud. She's done some stuff on Main Event. She was doing so well with the Becky Lynch stuff. I know it wasn't everybody's cup of tea, but I actually kind of liked the Becky Lynch feud. I really did. And I'm glad she got the Women's Intercontinental Championship for a hot minute. I don't think she's somebody they wanted to keep the belt on permanently, but I certainly think she was worth, giving a run with the championship. Switch it up a little bit. It was a nice little go-between until the AJ Lee thing came to fruition. WWE also announcing, as I said, Logan Paul suffering an injury at Saturday night's Main Event. He's going to be out for several months. This is a torn tricep. If you watch the video, you could see when it happens. It's really a shame. It's kind of a freak accident. Look, the Vision is as snake-bitten as it gets. You kick out your leader because he got hurt. Braun got hurt. Bronson gets hurt. Now Logan gets hurt. The only guy left really is Theory and now Braun, who came back. you know? And you were just going to put Braun Breaker in the World Championship picture. Now he has to go into the tag team picture, which kind of buries him by having to do that. And I you know, and I'm going to get into a Raw review in a few seconds, but like the fact that they have to use the Freebird rule because they have nothing better to do with the tag team championship. They have so few tag teams. Heaven forbid they have a tag team tournament. Oh, wait, we can't do that because we terminated half the tag team world. We got rid of the New Day. How is it that the Viking Raiders are still on the roster, but the New Day were eliminated, and now we've got this kind of problem with tag teams being on the roster? Just saying. But, yeah, Logan Paul being injured. I don't know if anybody saw the viral video that went up of Logan Paul. He saw somebody in the crowd with a sign for him, that they love him. And he was actually so flattered that this sign was in the crowd. It's nice to see the guy get a few kudos, because I don't care what anybody says. 1, he's phenomenal in the ring. 2, he's clearly putting in the work. 3, he's been there almost every week on television. And most importantly, for all you could complain about his past transgressions when he was much younger and stupid and immature, and I think even he would admit that, the guy's been doing it right since he's been in WWE. He just has. Okay, does he have controversies that all rich people get involved in all sorts of schemes that they try to make more money in? I don't fault him for any of that. I don't think any one of the people who listen to this show would be any different if they had the money to invest in some of the stuff he does as well. We'd all be buying Prime Energy and every other thing under the sun. So it is what it is. But in terms of his wrestling, and I'm sorry, I'm a wrestling show. I'm not here to have a morality show. In terms of wrestling, he can go. You know, I saw somebody put up a ludicrous theme the other day about him being in the main event of WrestleMania. I'm not ready to go there yet, but look at the way he's transformed his body. He's in incredible shape. I hate to see him have the injury to the tricep, but I think this guy's got a really good future in front of him in terms of pro wrestling and can probably do it as long as he wants to. And, you know, I'm actually kind of sad to see him get injured because I was really excited to see where they were going to go with him, especially with the Joe Hendry stuff. Gunther in the news, not knowing if that Lesnar match is ever going to happen. He said he's pretty much focused on the Cody Rhodes thing for now. You know, with Brock doing this match with Obafemi. If Obafemi wins this, I think Brock has to go away because it would make no sense to have a third match with them. And then Brock would have lost all his steam and fire heading into SummerSlam, so I can't see that being a lead into Gunther. If Brock wins this one, then you have to have a rubber match with Obafemi. So I can see where there's a very good possibility if Lesnar is in fact hanging up the boots for a second time, I guess, at SummerSlam. I could see why it probably may not be Gunther. And we all wanted to see it. And Gunther was doing an interview with the Italian wrestling channel talking about it. And it's obvious. He says, I don't know. He said, I wasn't there the day of Mania. They're referencing Lesnar's match with Obafemi because it was the day after me and all of that happened with Brock. So I only saw it in the headline. But that's literally all I had, the info I had. And yeah, I was like, he's back now. I haven't thought about it. I'm really focused on what I do with Cody now. I'll be challenging for the WWE Undisputed Championship in Italy. And that's my focus right now. And I understand that. Now, he did mention if he beats Cody, that Brock can challenge him for the championship. I would love to see that as well. Obviously, he would win. He would retire Brock and keep the championship. But I don't know how we get there with this Obafemi situation being there. But I do think it's interesting that he's still talking about it because it's obviously a match he would like to have. I just don't see a way to make it happen. Now we got to get into Raw because Raw was an interesting show. There's some people who hated it, some people who loved it. Look, you got to be honest with yourselves. WWE is working around injuries constantly lately. You know, the Vision stuff, having to take it gingerly with people like Seth Rollins because of his repeated injury history. And if we're being completely honest, people complain when they gut the NXT roster, but what are you going to do? You got to bring talent up to the main roster because you got to replace these people who keep getting hurt. You know, I did see a picture online of Bronson Reed. He looks jacked out of his mind. He looks like he slimmed down quite a bit as well. I'm hoping to see him back sooner than later. Paul Heyman opened the show. All kinds of trash talk back and forth. The Obafemi Brock Lesnar conversation. I thought it was interesting when Obafemi came out. He got in his face. I thought it was going to get physical. It did not. I thought Brock would make an appearance. He did not. I think that would have popped the segment if we would have had something between the two of them, even if it was holding them back. We get into the Penta versus Javon Evans Intercontinental Championship match. I love the match. I did not like the backstage segment later on in the show where it almost seemed like Javon Evans was almost like complaining about wanting another match. Like, you just had a match and you lost clean. I don't see why he's justified in getting another match. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see that. We find out what's going on with Division and the Tag Team Championship. Paul Heyman makes it clear that the contracts that he signs are for the Vision, not for two members in particular, so anybody can defend those tag team championships. He even references, Braun Breaker as the new tag team champion, so I guess that's what we're doing. I guess that clarifies some of it for some people. I don't understand why they continued the Fire Logan Paul music part with Joe Hendry. I move past it. If he's injured, he's going to be gone for months. There's no sense in doing that. I guess you bring out Theory to attack him, but the Theory is a tag team, and he's a tag team champion. Joe Hendry's a single. You have the Street Profits in the tag team scene. It just, none of it makes sense to me. It seems very disjointed. So I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of that either. I don't like seeing Joe Hendry almost get, steamrolled by somebody like that. We saw the segment in the back with Seth Rollins and Angelo Dawkins, and eventually we see oh my goodness, what the heck is his name? Montez Ford coming back into the picture. He's talking about how they don't need him, and they're doing the same conversation they've been doing for weeks now. Boring. We've been there. We've done that. We get to the Roxanne Perez, Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lara Valkyria. I feel like we've done this match about 347 times. Kind of tired of seeing that as well. This is what I mean. The matches aren't bad. Let me be clear. None of the matches are bad. They're just so freaking repetitive. Can WWE please come up with something? And I'm sorry, if you got to come up with stupid gimmicky type things all the time just to have something interesting to watch, do it. Because I'm kind of tired of the same crap every single week. We've seen this tag team match before. I don't need to see it ever, ever, ever again. From there, we go backstage. Roman Reigns complaining about the Jacob Fatu challenge, the tribal combat match, all that kind of stuff. We hear from LA Knight, who makes it clear that the King of the Ring tournament is coming back. That's the only exciting thing of the night for me was this segment. I love this interaction with him and Jimmy. I think Jimmy should be in the tournament. I actually think Jimmy could win the tournament. If not, I think LA Knight is a great one to also win the tournament because if you remember, they started giving a championship match to whoever wins the tournament. I'm cool with that. Not sure who else they'll put in there. I'm sure it'll be a schmaz of all sorts of upper mid-card guys, Rusevs and stuff like that. But I would love to see LA Knight walk out as the winner of the men's King of the Ring at least. But it is good to hear that coming back. We needed to see that. I love the character play that they're doing with the Usos and the hypocrisy of the way they're acting right now. I love all that. I thought that was solid. We head backstage where the new AAA general manager, Rey Mysterio, is back there talking to other people about, having an opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship. Rusev gets in there. Ethan Page gets in there. And I thought they played this up well to set up a match. I don't know. And if you follow my other episodes that are out, Rey Mysterio looking like he's winding down the career. I guess maybe you give him one more championship run. I don't think he loses. He beats Penta, though. I really don't. Penta's so over right now. And obviously Rusev's not going to beat Rey Mysterio neither. And Ethan Page had his opportunity. Again, this almost feels like treading water. I feel like WWE is giving us the Penta versus Rey match because it's like box office for Mexico and AAA and all that. But I think this is the kind of match that you would prefer to have at like a WrestleMania, not on like a Raw. And I feel like we're going to end up getting it on a Raw, which is kind of disappointing. The Seth Rollins-Montez Ford match could have been so much better if they were given more time. It was still pretty solid, and I think it was a predictable win, obviously. I would have loved to have seen a shock upset. I really would. I think Montez Ford really could go as a singles guy someday. We've talked about that in years past, and they've kind of gone away from that. I would have loved to have seen a shock win for Montez Ford. And what would that have done to the conversation around the division? It really would have helped set the vision up for that tag team match with Braun Breaker then being involved if you're defeating Seth Rollins, who was also beaten by Braun Breaker. But they didn't do that. Seth Rollins wins after the match. Angelo Dawkins, Austin Theory come out. There's all sorts of melee and stuff going on after the fact. It was solid. It was also, the match was phenomenal. Becky Lynch sends a message to Sol Ruca. Who cares? In my opinion, they just destroyed Sol Ruca since she's come to the main roster. For all the extra breaks they were talking about her getting down in NXT, she's gotten just totally washed since coming to the main roster. Not impressed at all. The Mysterio-Rusev match, very predictable. Rey Mysterio wins. He's going to get a shot at the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think there was any surprises here. It was kind of textbook Triple H booking lately. And then we get to what was supposed to be the biggest thing of the night. Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu. No physicality, total respect, said their side, shake hands, head to head. I'm sorry, after everything you've done the last 4 or 5 weeks with these two guys, how you have them hold hands and bump heads together in the middle of the ring at the end of the show is beyond me. And don't give me this blood honor nonsense. If that's the case, he wouldn't have Tongan viced you earlier in the month. Like, it just seems so ridiculous. Oh, he signed that contract, and now it's a blood oath. He didn't care about blood before. Why would he care now? He wants to take everything from you. He doesn't care about a blood oath. He cares about taking your throne. Whatever. It is what it is. I am excited to see the match. I've said it before. I wish it was a main event at WrestleMania, but it's not going to be. So I guess this is just what we're going to get, and it's going to be what it's going to be. I wasn't impressed. And where the heck is CM Punk? I'm kind of tired of not seeing him on television. At this point, they need him. They really do. There's just nothing exciting going on the brand right now, and I don't even know what you do with him once he gets back. So we're going to have to wait and see. Raw was lackluster for me. This was a down show. The matches, like I said, the matches were solid, but they were repetitive. It's boring. We need something exciting, especially if you're trying to counter what AEW is doing, which is driving up their viewership, their quality of matches, their quality of shows. AEW is doing phenomenal business right now. WWE, they're always going to do tons of business because they have such a global presence, but at the end of the day, their product sucks right now. And I don't know who to blame for that. Is TKO meddling too much? Is Triple H not creative enough? Are there not the right people in their ears giving them the buzz? Maybe Vince is out of touch and not communicating with them anymore now that we know there were some text messages going back and forth. I don't know. But they better figure something out because otherwise this is going to get really difficult to watch. This is like 2015 hard to watch at this point. That's all the time we have for this episode. Check back with us next episode. Run down the latest wrestling news and rumors. Special thanks as always to Suno for creating the music and sound effects we use on our show. Today's show is sponsored in part by Beazle Games. Bring a new friend to family game night. It's easy with sketchy people. Showcase your artistic side in this game from Beazle Games by going to thegamecrafter.com and picking up your copy today. If you're looking for your next career decision, making a move into the college or university world, maybe you just need some formal training for your next career decision, go to our website at frolifeplanning.com for all your higher education needs, as Fro Life Educational Planning is for today, for tomorrow, and for life with Fro Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Dr. Fro. I want to thank you for taking some time with us today. Until next time, take care, everybody. Have a great night.
Wrestling Podcast.